So we'll go to question number 2. And this one comes from Patrick Schmidt, who says, does God still bless us in material ways? Or was that just for the old covenant, and now he solely blesses us in spiritual ways? I think that what we should do is understand that God's blessing of people was never only in the old covenant. It's just that his blessings came with specific kinds of promises in the old covenant. So you can still have blessings of God outside that covenant, as not part of the old covenant, but not according to the covenant. Right? So he made a deal with Israel. Hey, if you follow me, if you seek me, if you honor me nationally, I will bless you nationally. I will give you these kinds of benefits. You will have food, and you will have health, and you will have protection from your enemies. And that's something he promised to Israel under this old covenant. And then Israel fails. And here's the big like salvation picture God's drawing, I think, for us in the Old Testament, is that Israel keeps failing to obey the covenant, so then curses keep coming upon them. You know, when they go back and forth in the book of Judges, it's like 7 cycles of, failure, coming back to God, he delivers them, then they fail, they sin, they get cursed. This is going on over and over. So what I'm going to suggest is, as a Christian, we're not under that same covenant. We're under the new covenant in Christ. And the new covenant does, like you suggest, Patrick, it focuses on spiritual things, eternal things. But there's also physical blessings coming in the future. It's just a timing issue. See, it's not like, will I be blessed physically? It's more like, when am I guaranteed that blessing? In the new resurrection, in the new creation, we're going to have abundant physical enjoyments and blessings and wealth and riches and all this other thing. So this is what we read in Revelation. Our treasures are in heaven, as Jesus said. So we just change where the blessings are coming, not whether they're coming. But that doesn't mean God won't bless you materially. Biblically, whether you're in the covenant or not, whether you're part of that Old Testament covenant, the Mosaic covenant, God, every blessing that man receives is seen as a blessing from God. Every time you drink something tasty, and you eat something yummy, and you have health, and every time you stand up and your arms work and your legs work and your lungs work and your brain works, like, all of these are blessings from God. So in a sense, I want to say everyone is being abundantly blessed all the time. We have there's a commonly misunderstood verse I'll quote that relates to this, and it's where Jesus says that God makes the rain to fall on the just and the unjust. And this passage, let's go there, Matthew 5:45, and I'll put it on screen for you. Often misunderstood. So you're to bless those who hurt you, bless those who persecute you, and all this. And one of the reasons is because God makes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. We often misunderstand this verse because we think sun rising is good, rain falling is bad. But it doesn't say tsunami or something bad like that. Sun and rain are essential things for people to live. Like, you can't survive without these in any community, without sun and rain. And in a farming community, which is what they were, an agrarian society largely, they would see sun and rain as blessings from God. And the point is, God is blessing everyone all the time. We have the problem of taking our blessings for granted. So you are promised tribulation in this life as a Christian. You are not promised the kinds of blessings that came to Israel, but you are being blessed even right now. Even just you being able to type, you having the money to afford a computer or a phone, this is a blessing from God. That God should get all the credit. We should be very grateful people. But we are ready to endure suffering because our ultimate treasure and the promised blessing that's coming is in heaven, and it is in the new creation, and that is where we put all of our hope. So I hope that helps. What you see all the time with, like, prosperity preachers and TV money grubbing people, not that everybody on TV is money grubbing, but you know the ones I'm talking about. What we see all the time with those people is they'll quote promises to Israel and how they were connected to things like Israel tithing. And then they'll suggest that if you tithe, God will bless you financially. But that is a confusion of covenants, like you suggest. So yes, God can bless you, but you can't claim promises to Israel, ignore the curses, and then, prop up your TV evangelism ministry. Yeah.